Fighting for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now at 865-243-8255. That's 243-TALK. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
Welcome back to the Patrick Riggins Show here on the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network. Is that Stone Sour, Tor? That's what I thought it was.
Had to look.
Yeah, well, gee, I picked it out, and I have to ask you. I was pretty sure that's what that was. All right, we're back here on the Patrick Riggins Show, and we'll switch gears a little bit, stop kicking around Boston up there. I think the point's been made, especially with the Kramer quotes. Who doesn't want the weather? See, I can't do that accent. So that was when I was trying to do, like when I was trying to do my British accent about a month ago, and it was just awful. I had people saying, don't do that on the air because you can't do a British accent.
Oh, anyone can.
I cannot.
Just think of the Beatles in the Yellow Submarine.
I still can't. See, I'm not even going to try, because if I do, I start getting emails again saying, you know, Patrick, stick to talking about libertarianism and stop trying to be British. Because it's just not working. All right, here on the last segment here, I want to talk a little bit about something that you may or may or not have heard about, but it's our old buddies, the NSA, and I'm not talking about the water purification people. It's the people out of Washington, and, well, they have little locations all around this country, but what they've done is they've started a Utah data center, which is 25 miles due south of Salt Lake City. What this is a facility for the intelligence community, and its major focus is on cybersecurity. Now, of course, the agency won't talk about it and talk about specifics about it, but some of the reports from people who know these kind of things suggest that this center could hold 5 zettabytes of data, which is a whole lot of data. Now, the current director of the NSA, General Keith Alexander, when asked if the Utah data center would hold the data of American citizens, he stated, quote, "No, we don't hold data on on U.S. citizens." He also added that the staff takes protecting your civil liberties and privacy as the most important thing that they do. See, I can't even read that without laughing. I'm surprised they could say it without laughing. But they say that's the most important thing they do in securing this nation. Critics of it, including former NSA employees, say the data center is front and center in the debate over liberty, security, and privacy. One man named Thomas Drake, who worked at NSA from August 2001 until August 2008, said the facility raises the most serious questions about the vast amount of data that could be kept in one place from many, many different sources. He also says Americans should be concerned about letting the government go too far in the name of security. Hey, that's what you hear on this show. Security and safety going too far for those two things. It's in secret, so you really don't know, he explained, Thomas Drake. It's benign, and if I haven't done anything wrong, it doesn't matter. That's what he's saying, that the only way you can have perfect security is a perfect surveillance state, which, of course, is George Orwell. But what Mr. Drake is saying, that the argument is there's nothing there, and if you haven't done anything wrong, then it shouldn't matter. Of course, that's a ridiculous argument. Now, another NSA whistleblower, Bill Binney, who worked at NSA for nearly 40 years, says it's about the possibility that government's stunning new capacity collect, store, and analyze data that could be abused. He said it's really a turnkey situation where it could be turned on quickly and become a totalitarian state. He also said the capacities to do that is being set up. Now it's a question of if we get the wrong person in office, which I don't think we do. That's right up Obama's alley. But if certain people set up their network internally in the government, they could make that happen quickly. According to NSA's chief compliance officer, John DeLong, whose job it is to make sure the laws and policies designed to protect the privacy of U.S. persons is being enforced. Part of the frustration is that the rules are specific and secret. He says, I think that's the sort of collision you have about classified rules. You now have a somewhat more public data center, and they can't just release those policy pronouncements that the NSA has because you have to protect privacy, which is total BS. Because no matter what the NSA is going to release, of course they're going to try to mislead. That's their job. The key is they're aggregating all this information about as much people as they can. And this is part of what Obamacare is about, is gathering information about you through your doctor. Once they have your medical information, well, who knows what they're going to do to it. Also, Mr. DeLong, again, the NSA's chief compliance officer, added that the misconception is that there's only internal oversight, when he says there is a tremendous amount of external oversight. Oh, I'm sure there is. From the Justice Department, the Office of Director of National Intelligence, and others. Oh yeah, that always works. No, we've never had agencies running amok in this country under supposed oversight. Nothing like that at all. Certainly not a program called Fast and Furious. No, nothing to see here. Just move along. The NSA isn't doing anything. This is a problem with our government. It's so big, no one knows what is going on. No one is minding the store. We have a bunch of people running their own little fiefdoms within our government. People who are spying on us, on American citizens, without warrants, without any sort of judge looking at the evidence. Just outright spying, and we as American people, we don't demand our congressional representatives do anything about it. We just continue watching TV and taking the kids to soccer or baseball practice. All the while, this government continues to grow and grow, and with this growth comes massive surveillance, so they can monitor everyone, identify any supposed threat, declare them a terrorist, and take them out. Inside the country or out, it doesn't matter. We've talked about that on this very show. That's why you have to monitor this government. We have to get people into office that'll start turning this thing around. We have elections coming up, and this is one of the key things we need to be doing. You right now sitting there or lounging around on the lake, you know someone who'd be a good congressional representative, and maybe even you. We need to get that person into office. That's what you need to do this week, is start working on that, because, as I said, elections are coming up, and we need to start getting this turned around. And if you like your guy in office, start ringing their phone off the hook and let them know either, A, you don't, well, if you do like them, you probably like how they're voting, but tell them you like how they're voting, because there's a lot of people up there telling them they don't like how they're voting. So if you're telling them, yes, I do, I'm in your district, I like how you're voting, that's a good thing. Don't just ring up their phone when they're screwing up. Bring up their phone when they're doing right. We're up on the end of the Patrick Riggins Show here on the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network. If you want more information about us, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Patrick Riggins Show. Be sure and hit that like button. You can also see us on YouTube at youtube.com/Patrick Riggins Show. That's where all the archive shows are. That's where this show will be, probably in a matter of hours. And if you want to reach us via email, you can reach us also at patrickriggins@gmail.com. Or you can drop us a card, a letter here to in care of the station, WNOX on Kingston Pike. Join me next Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Well, once again, we'll listen to Tory playing country music. We'll talk about
John Prine.
We'll talk about freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. This is Patrick Riggins. We'll see you next Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Have a great week.
Join us again next week for a solid dose of truth on the Patrick Riggins Show. Every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. Be there.